Looking over the more than 3,000 movies I saw in the 1980s, I dusted off some old tapes to find the very best of the decade. But I've kept my impressions of the films at that time intact for you. But first, a special salute to the most exciting movie of the decade. Of course, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I remember being able to retell every shot, every scene for weeks after this 1981 movie, including this one, in which Indy Harrison Ford hangs on for dear life.
No time to argue. Show me the angle. I'll show you the way. Give me the way. Adios, señor.
Here, then, are my choices for my favorite films of 1982. New York was where the wonderfully directed and acted comedy My Favorite Year took place. Supposedly, it was based on the time in 1954 a boozy ham actor, a swashbuckling movie star, perhaps not unlike Errol Flynn in some ways, and played brilliantly by Peter O'Toole, arrived to appear on his first live comedy show, a program not unlike Sid Caesar's old show of shows. And a young writer, not unlike Mel Brooks, had to keep him sober.
He's blasted! If I were truly plastered, could I do this?
The Boat was a German movie filmed aboard an exact replica of a German U-boat, prowling the North Atlantic in a wolf pack during the early days of the war. The movie makers went to Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry to film the interior of the only surviving U-boat, which is kept there. The movie captured the sense of claustrophobia, danger, and death men of any navy face far beneath the waves. Of course, the movie of the year at the box office was about a creature from another world, E.T., the biggest box office bonanza of all time. Millions all over the world are paying to see if E.T. can phone home.
I'm keeping you.
Missing was my favorite film of the year, from the director of Z, Costa Gavras. This was a stunning, riveting movie starring Jack Lemmon and Sissy Spacek. He played the father, she the wife of a young man missing in the aftermath of the coup in Chile in 1973. This is a true story, and Missing was one of those rare movies which gripped you from first frame to last, with its realistic recreation of the fear, devastation, and horrors of that time and place. The best movies of 1984. From Europe came Bizet's Carmen, the only time the entire orchestrated version has ever been filmed. Julia Migenes-Johnson was a sexy, fiery Carmen, and the great Placido Domingo superb as the lovesick Don Jose. Filmed on location in Ronda, Spain, Bizet's Carmen is a definitive version of the most famous opera of them all, and a movie I may never forget. The Natural, with Robert Redford as the mythical 30s ball player, the greatest natural athlete ever to hit a horse hide. The movie version of Bernard Malamud's early story is every boy's dream come true. A delightful but also bittersweet fairy tale I can see again and again. The Natural tore the cover off the ball. My choice for the best film of 1984, The Killing Fields, the harrowing true story of New York Times reporter Sidney Sandberg's fight to get his Cambodian stringer and assistant out of the hell that Cambodia became after it fell. The sights of random terror were harrowing, unforgettable, and stirring. The Killing Fields is one of the best films of recent years. My choices for the 10 best films of 1985. The Emerald Forest, based on a true incident. The young son of an American engineer was kidnapped by South American Indians, and the Emerald Forest depicts the father's 10-year search for his son in the Amazon jungle. Ron is the Japanese director Akira Kurosawa's version of King Lear, a stirring, sweeping epic of battles, warlords, feuds, betrayals, and a style of acting we don't get to see enough of here. My 10 best films of 1986, Hannah and Her Sisters. Michael Caine plays the philandering husband, and in this scene, in this droll, witty comedy about people who've made it, but who have empty holes in their psyche nevertheless, He puts the moves on his sister-in-law, Barbara Hershey.
You feel it's because you feel the same.
Oh, please, I have to go. I have to get my teeth cleaned.
1987 wasn't a good year for movies. It was a great year. Matewan, a stunning depiction of a coal miner strike in West Virginia in the early 20s. Written and directed by John Sayles, this confrontation between coal mining company goons and a brave local sheriff bespeaks the drama of this movie.
I'm giving you 10 minutes. Get those people's belongings back in the house. If the rest of the boys was here, you wouldn't be so cocky. If the rest of the boys was here, I'd give you 5 minutes.
And now you can roll the drums for my choice for the most moving, enjoyable, unforgettable movie of the decade, Field of Dreams.
Hey, that's Smoking Joe Wood. Mel out? It's your Hodgson. Ty Cobb wanted to play. None of us could stand a son of a bitch when we were alive, so we told him to stick it.
So the 90s are upon us with soaring ticket prices, more sequels, and with any luck, a few great movies. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Lyons.